welcome to another episode of Too Weird Didn't Watch, the show where we make fun of movies that we have not seen, based on nothing but their weird descriptions.
I'm Brantley.
And I'm Albert. Today we're kicking things off with Aztec Rex.
Woo, more scary birds.
Also known as Tyrannosaurus azteca. From 2008.
I don't think there are any tyrannosaurs in South America.
Stop with your logic and your facts.
I don't think they connected yet.
Wait,
Which
what?
is
You don't think what it connected?
North and South America.
Oh. I'm not clear on my timeline. Wasn't it all connected originally?
It was connected, but then it's separated, and tyrannosaurs developed in the supercontinent of Eurasia and North America.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the rest of them, all the rest of the landmass really was Gondwana, which was South America, Africa, India, Antarctica, and Australia.
Maybe they were transplanted by
What I'm saying is we could have had Carnotaurus.
Oh, is that over
That was
in...
South America.
Okay.
That's my favorite dinosaur, and I would like to see it in more things.
That's a cool looking dinosaur. Well,
Except for stupid little arms.
Tyrannosaurus azteca, again aka Aztec Rex, which I think is a better title.
Azteca is a better title, but that is how they would have named it, except for the capitalized on Azteca.
Anyway, a Tyrannosaurus azteca is set during the 16th century, where famous Spanish explorer Hernando Cortez, played by famous Spanish person Ian Ziering.
I don't know my Spanish actors.
Landed. I think Ian Ziering is the guy who's
Look,
in
the only
Sharknado.
Spanish actor I know is Paul Naschy, and he was a werewolf.
Ian Ziering is Sharknado Man. He's definitely not Spanish.
Oh, hey, it's Nick Totopoulos from the Godzilla cartoon.
Oh, is that who he plays?
He's the main character. He also plays Wild Wing on the Mighty Ducks.
Anyway, he's landed in Mexico with 6 of his best men. I don't know why only 6.
They're really good.
He commanded an army.
The gap between his 6 best and everyone else is real high.
It wasn't a massive army, but it was in.
It's the Spanish king and queen said, "We will give you 6 of our finest conquistadors," and these guys we hired on the Ducks.
Should I tell the one Cortez fact that I know that I found interesting in my lifetime?
Go ahead.
I read a biography of this man, Hernando Cortez,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of his exploits. And the one thing I read in that biography that always stuck with me was the fact that his initial attempt to take the capital of the Aztecs, maybe it's not the Aztecs, I don't even remember, what would eventually become Mexico City, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
His initial attempt to take that fails, and he and his men are repulsed and sent back running away. And he doesn't give up. He wants to continue his mission to take the city from the Aztecs, but he understands that the morale blow his men taken has been so great that they won't follow him into battle against the Aztec Empire again or anything major. So he instead sends them on small side missions, little tiny battles that he knows they will win, just to build up their confidence. So for a period of a year after his initial defeat, he works on building these guys' confidence back up by giving them things he knows they will succeed at to do before he eventually mounts his second assault that he would complete successfully. And I thought, man, that is a brilliant leadership tactic.
I know you meant battles, but in my head it was Javier, build that table. Good man.
No, they were slaughtering native people.
I know, but just my head, that was how it went. Some Between the Lions cartoon popped in my head.
That one always, for whatever reason, I always thought if I'm, am I ever in a position where I need to know that, now I have that knowledge, I could be a leader.
I have the probably apocryphal
instance.
story about him taking cocoa to the old world and drinking it and finding it bitter and throwing it all overboard.
Oh, yeah?
No idea if any of that's true. I heard it in history class, so probably not.
He also had, the other thing I remember that was great about Cortez, and this is true also, although there's not enough information about her, he had a wife that came over with him at a certain point, but stayed behind on the island, so he's years and years out there doing his conquest of Mexico, while his wife is back at home. And like a man might be expected to do, he finds somebody else and it's a native lady who actually super supports him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she is what you would want a wife to be. You know, she's on board with all of his conquests and exploits, and she really helps him out. She is actually like his better half, essentially. She completes him in his conquest of Mexico and really gives him a leg up on understanding the culture and supports him in a lot of ways. And when he wins and his wife shows up, she got to go to somebody else. It's I remember hearing that story and thinking like, oh, there's got to be more information about this woman, and there's not.
Yeah.
Like, somebody should write a book about. I think her name was Maria. I could be wrong, and it probably wasn't originally Maria, but
yeah,
you know, ultimately became a Maria. This woman that stands by this guy's side and helps him conquer, you know, most of her continent. And granted, that oversimplifies it because there's warring factions, and she probably wanted him to win against the people that he was fighting against. But still, it was, you know, it was all very super complicated, and to have that end in sort of bitterness and separation probably wasn't what she wanted.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to dinosaurs.
It's probably going to be my life motto.
They intend. So he's landed in Mexico with 6 of his best men, including Lieutenant Rios, played by Marco Sanchez, who I'm going to guess is Hispanic of some sort, based on the last name. They intend to claim the land in the name of the Spanish, and maybe steal some gold too, if the opportunity arises.
The basic conquistador stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Within minutes, they have their first sight of the local Aztec savages. Apparently, I'm not a super PC person. I don't normally take issue with this, but I know about the Aztec Empire, and despite the fact that they did not technologically advance as far as some people did, I'm not okay with them calling savages.
Human sacrifice.
Okay, that is a savage practice, yes. And I'm against that. I suppose you could make that argument.
We'll say we'll break even on this one.
But we're talking about people that had a major civilization.
Yeah, they had, yeah.
I think that's probably... Now, that's probably not shown in this. These are probably, like, people in tents living in the wilderness because that's what they had the budget for, and he only has 6 guys anyway. But that's not what the Aztec Empire was. Within minutes after that, Cortez and his men are captured and held prisoner. Should have brought more than 6 dudes.
There's a scouting party.
Okay. If that wasn't bad enough...
Shouldn't send your leader on the scouting party, but still.
I wasn't going to say that, but I did think that. If that wasn't bad enough, it turns out that a couple of Tyrannosaurus rex, I don't know if that's the correct plural, live there and like to eat the locals.
Kind of, except the R should not be capitalized. And you know what? Maybe they survived to modern day and just moved down there after land bridge formed.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I like
also,
at least you're getting a change of scenery.
Yeah.
Like, all of the Jurassic Park ripoffs for a long time were just modern day, you know, kind of modern military equipment, people shooting at them with guns, and it's not very realistic for the dinosaurs to survive repeated gunfire.
Except, we're still in the jungle.
Okay.
Stop at the jungle. They were in other places.
Where would you like to see?
Specifically, T-Rex was in Montana, which looked similar to how it does now.
Yeah.
Or in the snow. I want to see dinosaurs in the snow. You have Troodons, which aren't actually Troodons now, but whatever. You know, Tyrannosaurus lived up there as well.
Okay, I'll accept that.
It would be rad. And it would be different than just scaly lizard things in the jungle.
I think what the jungle affords you is the opportunity for the big dinosaur to hide and sneak up on you. If they're in Montana,
yes,
in the wide open plains, you're going to see those things coming for 8 miles.
Yes. And then you do have, like, Valley of Gwangi or whatever, where they were in cowboy areas. But then, again, in the snow, or even put them in the redwoods. So you have, like, a T-Rex weaving between those giant trees.
Okay.
It's something different. That's all I ask. And not in cities. Cities is not new anymore.
Within minutes after... No, I already read that part. In an
Transfers
effort to
drugs.
win their lives, the Spanish offer to help the locals get rid of their monster problem. But with various hidden agendas and ulterior motives, it's not just the dinosaurs they have to watch out for.
So, Rios wants to betray Cortez to get the gold for himself.
I mean,
the locals want to sacrifice them.
yeah,
And there's probably some dude who just loves dinosaurs and wants to kill people with dinosaurs.
I like that. Yeah, okay.
There's
The
probably a
fact that
priest who
Rios
uses
is
them
the
as...
only named character, he's probably got something going on.
Yep. He's either tragically he dies, and that is Cortez's "my best friend has died" moment, or he betrays him.
Next up, we have The Mighty Gorga from 1969.
So is this like a sequel to Gorgo, or...
Gorgo?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's Gorgo?
Kaiju movie from England.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Not
about.
Not Queen of Sparta, no.
I have seen that one. I've seen the MST3K that Netflix did of it.
That is the correct way to watch that movie, yes.
But no, this is not related to that. What do you think it is about the Gorger type construction that makes it feel like a kaiju name?
Because it's big round syllables.
Yeah?
Like Gojira Kong. Same way when you have a lot of evil alien overlords, they have a lot of Z's and X's in their names. And some K's. Maybe a Y.
Anthony Isley is Mark Remington. I guess Anthony Isley is the name of the actor.
Or he's in disguise.
Or that. Mark Remington's a cool name, by the way.
This movie came out the same year my mom was born.
Alright. A circus owner whose carnival consists of sorry animal acts and a depressed clown. That's not a good circus.
This man hasn't seen The Greatest Showman. Mostly as it hasn't come out yet.
Yes. Threatened by Arnold Shy, who plans to buy the circus, and whined at by his dorky younger brother,
No name given.
Mark ventures into the jungle to capture a giant ape known as Gorga.
Oh, this is a Mighty Joe Young ripoff.
Probably, yeah.
Fun.
I've only seen the Disney remake.
Same.
He enlists the aid of Animal Reserve owner April Adams. It's super ripoff of Mighty Joe Young if it's anything like if the original's anything like the Disney one. Who aims to uncover a lost treasure to save her reserve from scrupulous tycoon Dan Morgan.
You know, I prefer Scrupulous Tycoon 2. The graphics a little better and the path making was easier. It's a Zoo Tycoon joke, people. Or Roller Coaster Tycoon. Any of those Tycoon games.
Prison Tycoon?
Is there a Prison Tycoon?
There is, I think.
I know there's a Prison Architect.
I could swear there's a Prison Tycoon.
I'm not saying there's not.
It has a rating of 4 out of 10 on Steam.
Ooh.
What did you guys do? I don't know if I've ever seen just straight negative reviews on Steam. Usually it's mostly negative. Do you like building up a prison and haven't played the Prison Tycoon 3? Then don't buy this, nor the third one, since neither have a tutorial, so good luck in trying to play the game. I want to point out, I think they meant to say unscrupulous tycoon?
No, he's scrupulous. He has scruples. But he wants a reserve.
Is she mistreating the animals? Is that what we're going to take? April
She's the forebearer of the guy from Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Listen, this is my reserve.
I'm making money off of this.
I will beat these apes with a baseball bat if I want to.
You know, got my cattle prod that I'm using on this.
I paid good money for these things.
And I'll quote the original movie for no reason.
So she wants to save her reserve from the tycoon Dan Morgan and his crummy sidekick, no name given. There's just a space.
Oh, I thought that continued on to April's father. I was very confused.
No, April's father is the beginning of the next sentence.
I didn't see the period because there's a space after the after the word sidekick. So I was like, man, her father's the crummy sidekick to the guy trying to take her reserve? This is surprisingly complex for a movie. Oh, so this is a King Kong ripoff. Judging by that poster.
Yeah.
And that close-up of his very surprised-looking ape face. Duh. Is the sound he is making according to that face.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's not a. It is a no name given, but the space before the period is my fault because I cut out the name of the actor who is playing this person
Okay.
from the description. Sometimes I
That
edit these down a
happens.
tad. So it's just the scrupulous tycoon and his crummy sidekick.
April's father.
April's,
We've been over this.
April's father, whose name is given, and it's Tonga Jack, has been lost in the jungle. So April aims to find him in the process. I have to say, this is a really good deal for April.
Yeah.
She's gonna find a treasure. She's gonna see a cool giant ape she's apparently interested in, because I'm assuming her reserve is for apes and not like, small lizards. and at the same time, her dad is lost in this jungle. Probably, I'm gonna figure out here. Probably what's going on is her dad went to look for this treasure already, and it's like a Laura Croft kind of thing where he told her about it.
Right.
And she knows about it from when she was a child, and so she's going to look for this treasure and maybe see what happened to her dad when he went. But
So the treasure is the ape, right? Or is it the friends we made along the way?
I think it's the friends we made along the way. Probably it is the ape. That makes most sense.
Or the ape guards the treasure.
Next up we have The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave from 1971.
Mm-hmm.
Cool title, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, it tells you what it's about, but it's, like, mysterious in a way.
I wanted to make fun of it, but it works.
Yeah.
Mostly because this is what we do on the show.
Yes. In the film,
Oh, okay.
the viewer... no, not in the book. Or in real life, really.
This movie comes with a man who just comes and greets you and tells you about things.
The viewer meets a British lord. So if we watch this movie, Brantley...
Yeah, he's going to come visit and introduce all the characters before it starts.
We're going to see ourselves transported into the film.
Wow.
From 1971.
This is next level filmmaking. This
like
is what 4D really is.
It's like an SCP article. Every person who watches this film sees themselves meeting a British lord named Alan Cunningham.
I was picturing like stacked realities where you see yourself watching the video and the next people sees themselves watching the video of you watching yourself and just goes down forever.
Sir Alan, when we first encounter him, is in the bug house, having had a mental breakdown after the death of his redhead, unfaithful wife, Evelyn.
Oh, he's in the crazy house.
Yeah, I paused there because I was like, it's not a house for bugs. They decided that it would be a good idea to call an insane asylum the bug house.
I think this is a British term where they actually call it that.
Yeah, it's still not super sensitive.
I mean, they call cookies biscuits there. They're wrong about a lot of things.
That's not insensitive, though. That's just silly. I'm on board with their term for flashlight, though.
Torch?
Torch makes more sense
Yeah,
than
the light
flashlight.
doesn't flash.
I'm not... I mean, it can. Like, it
that
makes
is a
sense
specific
from when it
option
was
on
a signal
someone's...
light,
Yeah.
but nobody uses it for that. People do use it to hold in their hand and light the way, which is what a torch does, so I'm good with that. So he's had a mental breakdown. His wife, Evelyn, was unfaithful to him and died during childbirth. After his release, Alan becomes infatuated with his new hobby. Model trains. No. Picking up red-headed hookers and strippers to bring home and torturously whip and possibly kill in his castle dungeon.
I wouldn't call that a hobby. First.
I mean...
and foremost.
Some people have similar interests, although I don't think the actual desire to kill is usually involved.
Also, dealer's choice. Savagely whip you to the point where you want to leave. It's like, okay, do you want to stay or you want to die?
The fact that the way the sentence starts out, especially because they describe it as a hobby, it makes it seem like he approaches these women like, so, would you like to come over to my house where I'll torturously whip and possibly kill you?
Yeah, that's how you phrase. Like, would you come out back to my place for some whipping?
And possibly
well, if you're paying, it's $200 if you're going to get that weird. Prostitutes, you know.
Yeah.
Little they know, it would be free of charge because they'll be dead. Maybe.
Following the advice of the institution's Dr. Timberlane, so he's going in for therapy.
Right.
Probably telling this guy, like, I do torturously whip and kill redheaded women sometimes. Is that cool? And he's like, it's real. Maybe you shouldn't.
You shouldn't, but doctor-patient confidentiality, I can't do anything.
Anyway.
Really tied my hands with this one.
Following his advice, Alan resolves to forget his dead wife by meeting another woman.
He's doing that on the nightly, though.
He's so much doing that, yes. This seems like a bad strategy. It's already not working. It's also kind of insulting a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like the women who he's torturing and killed aren't really other women.
I mean, he probably isn't telling them he's actually doing that. He's telling them that he keeps having, like, desires to do this. Probably phrasing it away so he won't get arrested and thrown back in the bug house.
Yeah.
And Timberlane's like, hey, just meet a different lady and just move on with your desires. Maybe not a redhead.
Maybe don't whip her and possibly kill her.
Yeah, don't do that. Those are bad.
Unless she's into the one and not the other, because still possibly killing, not cool. Soon enough, he meets a beautiful blonde named Gladys, who he proposes to after just a few hours.
See, don't do that. You can't marry a girl you met known for just one day.
Not even a whole day! Literally, like, he meets her, what? There's barely time for a date. He proposes. And she says yes, apparently, because the next sentence
says...
He
is a lord. She probably wants money.
I guess.
Probably how he got his first wife.
Or it's a plot. Because we know where we're going with this, right? This is essentially the fall of the House of Usher.
It's been a long time since I've read that.
Dude's wife is dead, but she's not.
Really, all I remember is the house cracking in half.
Right, well, what happened was he buried her early. Like, he thought she was dead. She
right,
had,
because
like,
Poe was obsessed with that.
tuberculosis or something.
Also that.
And he put her in the coffin, but then, like, he heard her scratching and stuff in the coffin, and he's freaked out by it. So this is like that, but with sexy time stuff. Because of the whipping and the hookers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I know I jumped ahead with this stuff, but trust me, that is true about the House of Usher thing. We're about to find out. As the crypt of the dead Evelyn... I'm sorry. But marriage with Gladys only seems to make Lord Alan's obsessions worse. As the crypt of dead Evelyn is revealed to be empty. Her walking cadaver is yet glimpsed, and ghastly murders erupt around the estate.
Are there any non-ghastly murders?
Like feed someone some poison or something, where they just kind of pass away peacefully in the night.
They're still dead. It's
yeah,
still
but it's
murder.
not ghastly.
It kind of is.
Well, what does ghastly mean? Let's do a ghastly definition. Causing great horror or fear, frightful or macabre.
This person has been killed by poison. I've eaten in this place. Oh dear.
Also, extremely unwell, as in you feel ghastly about something.
Yeah, I'm gonna say finding a dead body. Super unpleasant.
Do you think?
Maybe. Sometimes. Not often, but
what's your opinion on this? So there's
murder bad. I think we just covered that. Go ahead.
I'm glad we've covered that difficult topic. a lot of people willing to speak out on that. It was very brave of you. I hope you don't get canceled, but
there's nothing to cancel. I'm untouchable. I have no career.
They're gonna fire you from the PetSmart.
The worst things to fire me for.
No. What do you think the resolution is going to be? So there's obviously at least two options. Number one, everything is exactly as it appears. Evelyn is still alive.
I assumed he's just crazy.
Okay, that's another option. My guess, you hit on Gladys being a gold digger.
Sinister, yes.
Something wrong with her. She agrees to marry him after a first hour. A few hours anyway, where he's just like, I like you, let's get married. I'm crazy, and I really need to get married, just so I don't be crazy anymore. If that's the case, my feeling is this is a plot by
Timberlane.
Gladys to drive him even more insane and take his fortune.
I figured if it is a plot, it's between her and the doctor who, hey, meet a lady, and like within the day meets this beautiful blonde lady who agrees to marry him within a few hours.
It reminds me
seems
of a
awfully
movie
convenient.
I watched a long time ago called Diabolique. Have you ever heard Diabolique?
No.
Great black and white French thriller mystery movie. I'm about to spoil it for you guys, but this is the end of the episode, basically, so if you don't want to hear the ending of Diabolique, don't listen. It's about this woman whose husband is a big jerk, and he's philandering on her right in front of her and everybody with this other woman in the school that they work at.
Mm-hmm.
And her and this other woman together hatch a plot to kill this guy, because he's kind of a scumbag. And so they lure him away somewhere, they get him killed, they take care of the body, they dump it in the pool, if I remember correctly. And then they leave. Except the wife keeps seeing the specter of the husband show up.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually somebody comes to drain the pool. There's like the investigator who's looking into it and has his suspicions going on. And the pool is eventually drained, but there's no body in the pool. And the twist at the end was that the mistress and the husband had conspired together to make the wife think she was going crazy so that she would eventually kill herself. And they would be able to run off together.
Gaslighting.
Essentially, I've never seen the movie Gaslighting before. I know that the general idea is to make someone think they're crazy, but this is a lot more effort than sort of the general, like, nah, you didn't really see that. This is like, I'm going to be killed and then come back as a ghost to make this person think that they're crazy.
Have you seen Wolf Woman of London?
No.
That is a movie where a lady who is an heiress and her stepmother caretaker is convincing her that she is a werewolf so that she will be put up for being insane and she will get the money instead.
So there's no... Are you sure it's not called She-Wolf of London?
Probably that one. I saw it like once. And it's okay. But yeah, she's like, leaving like scratches in the clothes, like muddy footprints to her door. People are being killed in what looks like an animal attack, but it's literally the stepmother going out and murdering people.
I wish that there were more werewolf movies that were willing to go this direction.
If they had done that with the first Wolfman.
Where it's just him being crazy?
It was originally going to apply where you never actually see the Wolfman. It would have been psychological, and it would have been like, maybe. But they figured that, we'll just do werewolf effects. Which, I like the Wolfman movie, but we're probably not going to get that movie. Because if you go to see that, now modern audience like, there was no werewolf. What the heck, this movie sucks.
You would need to not have werewolf or wolf in the title.
Yeah.
It would need to have some other draw to get you in, and then, like, also you have this werewolf plot. That's how I think.
I don't know how you would sell it is the thing.
Yeah.
Because
I don't either, Brantley.
Yeah.
That's why we are not movie makers.
That's one of several reasons I'm not a movie maker.
That's going to do it for us for this week, folks. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, tell a friend about us. Subscribe to wherever you get your podcast from. And we'll see you guys next time with another one.
Bye,
Take
guys.
care.